You talked with God?
That's right. As I'll talk to you.
Tell me about that.
Well, now, sir, this is the way I am about a God. If God told us that if we ask, we shall receive. Seek, you shall find. Knocking, it shall be opened. And God has told us that He says to do unto others as you would have Him to do unto you.
Mm-hmm. You talk to God in this room?
In this way.
Uh-huh.
And then we know that the prayers of God, He says He hears all things and knows all things. And does all things. There's nothing without Him that He should not hear. But it's this way with me, my God. I ask God to help me to learn these things that I know. And you know He's the greatest physician that lives.
And He helped you learn.
He helped me learn what I know today. And I've got no other man to thank but Him.
And learning about
the things of nature. In that case, that's the reason I said as I did this morning. Because I know the things of nature, because God has given me the wisdom and the knowledge to understand.
What did you learn about it?
Well, I learned nature is a great thing to be in existence. And when nature goes away from you, then there's any remembrance for the nature that happened. And that's all of human life has been on the face of the earth. It's God's got a record somewhere. Now we know that, don't we?
You were studying engineering too?
Yes, that's right. I was studying engineering. And I studied engineer work from my grandfather's side. My grandfather was the greatest engineer that ever lived. And he died in 1930. And I told God then, if I said, well, God, I this way. I said, God, if you let me live and work and study and all, I want to be a good man. And I want to be a Christian man and a religious man and to know how to talk to men and people of the world. Because I can sit down and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. But do you know what it does, Father? It's good for our minds and our bodies and all the talk.
You like to talk?
That's right. I like to study too. I like to have things before me to study. And you can't study without having a book, can you? You got to have a book on everything you want to study. To be a good one, you have to have it. And I've learned something today that I'll have to go back and study about my father's work. That means my drugs.
We found out today that you need to know more about your drugs.
Drugs, that's right. Because we've got to know, the doctor's got to know whatever description is and whatever drug and whatever name it is, and they've got books to prove it. It's what it is because they've got manuscripts.
So you can be a doctor.
That's right. But I'll tell you how I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn it with my dictionary that I have at home. I have one of the greatest dictionaries that's ever been put out at home. It's a Latin edition. And it's got a lot of stuff in there that we need to be called doctors. And I'm going to go back and read that thing and read it and study it out and put it in my memory before I can put it down on the paper.
All about drugs.
That's right. About drugs and about engineering and all of it, because I'm going to put it in my head. I think that's a good place to have it, but if I die and let it be, that's all right. But the way I told you a while ago, we have to get these words and things in our mind studied. We have to study the ways of nature go, the way the human race exists, and the governments, and the armies, and the navies, and all them is part of the universe. And we got to know how they're studying and how they know it. And they know it by studying.
You're going to study about the armies and navies too?
Yeah. I'm going to study in all kinds of fields when I get back home. And I need this because I'm going to what I'm going to be. Because I'm going to be a great man. And the reason I'm so smart like I am, I had a book one time and I got it from a correspondence school. It had all this stuff in it. And I'll tell you what happened to it, it got burned up.
How'd that happen?
Well, I was gone from home sometime and Daddy even cleaned out my books. When I got back there, it burned up. I don't know how they got them burnt, but the trouble they can burn up when I asked them what it is, they said they got burnt. And that may be what's wrong with me today. I've got a few books now, but I ain't got as many books I used to have.
You like to have more books?
Yes, I'd like to have some more books. And like I told you, I want some on chemistry and science and mathematics. Because I want to be great in mathematics and geometry, all this other, and then I want to be a smart doctor. If I want to be a smart doctor, I've got a lot to learn. Ask what?
Fine. You remember we talked about sayings, what sayings mean
Yeah.
and everything? Could you tell me what this saying